Tonight, Hawks Network is live with Canyon Lake High School baseball. The playoff-bound Hawks host the Bandera Bulldogs in a late-season 28-4A matchup. Hawks Network is your home for live Canyon Lake High School baseball.
And welcome to Canyon Lake High School here on the Hawks Network. We apologize for our late start as we had some technical difficulties leading up to first pitch, but we'll try to get you up to date here. We are in the top of the first in our District 28-4A matchup between our Canyon Lake Hawks and the Bandera Bulldogs. Right now at the bat is Keaton McInnes. He has this one hit to third, and the long throw is not in time, and the runner will score. The runner is Casey Harp, who was batting second for the Bulldogs. The leadoff hitter, Sam Sizik, was the first out of the ball game on an F8. Harp reached on an infield single, then got second on a pass ball, later would steal third and just scored on that hit by McInnes, which is an error. And in between that, the third batter, Cord Koenig for Bandera, struck out. So there are your two outs. Right now, McInnes is on first by way of error on E5. And this brings up Zach Breakbill, and I think this is going to get us all caught up now. Breakbill, the fifth batter of the evening for Bandera. On the mound for the Hawks is Avery Montgomery. Avery, one of four seniors being honored tonight. It is senior night here at Canyon Lake High School. The count is 1-1 to Breakbill with two outs, and this is in there for a strike. So we could all catch our breath now as we are caught up. The 1-2 pitch. High pop fly into the gap. Coming over from left, Mason Lee settles under it.
Then for the Bulldogs, number 6, Mason Bankston.
You're all right, Avery.
And that was actually dropped.
Keep throwing out, kid. You're doing all right.
So F7 gets Breakbill on. McInnes over to third on the error. We still have two outs here with Mason Bankston coming up for Bandera. The sophomore is batting .227. He looks in at strike one. Runners on the corners now with two outs here in the first.
Hey, throw him a chair, Avery. Let's go, baby.
Montgomery from the stretch, the 0-2, hit up to third. Tyro with it, over to first to Parrish, and Parrish digs it out. And Bandera is done here in the first. One run on a one hit, two errors, and two left on for Bandera. After a half inning of play, it's Bandera 1 and the Hawks coming up to bat. This is Canyon Lake Baseball on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
And welcome back to Canyon Lake High School. That's a look at the pitcher for Bandera. Casey Harp will be on the mound tonight for the Bulldogs. And leading off for Canyon Lake will be Caleb Williams. Williams, the sophomore, batting .286. Harp on the mound has a 3.27 ERA in 10 appearances, and opponents are batting .144 against him. Also the team leader in hits. So getting it done offensively and defensively for Bandera. They'll turn to him. A sophomore in the 12 jersey will step in. Bandera with 1 run in the top of the first. Canyon Lake looking to respond. And first pitch to Williams is a strike. This is a matchup between two teams in District 28 4A. Canyon Lake, with a 3-8 district record, has clinched a playoff spot. Currently sit 4th in district standings, as this one's in the dirt for ball 1. And Bandera, 1-10 in district. Tough run for the Bulldogs this year. And fouled back. A 5-team district in 28 4A with the Bernie Greyhounds on top right now at 11-1 district record. Williams swings and misses and is the first out of the first inning for Canyon Lake. This will bring up Mason Lee, another sophomore for the Hawks. Mason batting .273 on the season. He'll dig in, the right-hander. This one on the corner for a strike. So Bernie's on top of district with an 11-1 mark, followed by Fredericksburg. And that is the cream of the top of district. Hondo is in third place currently with a 4-8 mark, and then settling at 4th for the time being are Canyon Lake. The 0-2 pitch is high to Lee. Harp working quickly on the inside corner with an off-speed pitch. Mason Lee is the second strikeout of the game. So 2 outs will bring up Drew Tyra, the third baseman. Drew hitting .286 on the year. First dealing is in the dirt. We'll go for a ball. This is the third matchup of the year between Bandera and Canyon Lake because there are only 5 teams. You got to get a good sample size to determine who's the best in district. So each team plays each other 3 times. It's a good hack of the ball there by Tyra. We'll go out of the park for a long strike. A good pitch there by Hart. With 2 outs, here's the 1-2 pitch. And Tyra will go down swinging. For the Hawks in the first, It's 3 up, 3 down, all by way of strikeout. No runs, no hits, and no errors. Nobody left on base. We played one here at Canyon Lake High School. It's Bandera 1, Canyon Lake 0. You're watching the Hawks Network.
Down in Texas, modern-day prospectors are making big bucks flipping houses. But before they can cash in, they gotta move them. Hauling homesteads and kicking asphalt. All new Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Back here in the Texas Hill Country for inning number 2 of tonight's game between the Hawks and the Bulldogs. Bandera off to a quick start. And they have the 1-0 lead going into inning number 2. Leading off here in the second for Bandera's number 3, Dustin Fritz. Fritz, the DH.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 3, Dustin Fritz.
As Montgomery will look in and give the full windup here. First delivery swung on and missed. Strike 1. Victor Escamilla is the first-year head coach for the Canyon Lake Hawks. 14-1 overall. As we mentioned, a 3-8 district record. As quickly, Montgomery has Fritz down 0-2. Coach Escamilla spent 2 years as an assistant at Reagan High School in Northeast Independent School District. As this one's on the corner for a strike, and Fritz goes down looking for the first out of inning number 2. Wiley Despain is up, the first baseman for Bandera. Despain spells it D''S-P-A-I-N, sophomore. Looks in, another good pitch here by Avery. It's working good here early in the second. Boy, the 5th pitch of the inning by Avery, and he has nothing but strikes here. Two batters, 6 pitches and 6 strikes. Despain goes down swinging. Now there are 2 outs here in the second.
Now batting number 19, Brock Cardenas.
Brock Cardenas is the first baseman, and he is up. The 1-0 pitch is in there. It evens the count with 1 ball, 1 strike. So prior to the years over at Reagan High School, Coach Escamilla built majority of his baseball career at Alice as head coach of the Coyotes. 16 years as this one's fouled back. With Alice, had over 300 wins there with the Coyotes. Before that, previously as the head coach, 2 years at Harlingen South. Coach Escamilla brings all that experience here to the Texas Hill Country in his first year with Canyon Lake. And that pitch to Cardenas is for a strike. And that will end the inning for Avery Montgomery. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It's 3 up, 3 down for Bandera. We'll step aside when we come back. The second inning for Canyon Lake here on the Hawks Network.
The biggest season of Fixer Upper is here.
What? We're taking it a whole nother direction.
This is going to be one of a kind.
With fresh new designs.
Love the stairwell. Pretty impressive. Are y'all ready to
check out your Fixer Upper?
Oh my God, look at this.
All new Fixer Upper, Tuesday at 9 on HGTV.
Watch HGTV, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 578. GVTC, just plain smart. CJ Parrish has signed his letter of intent to play collegiate baseball at Missouri Valley College. CJ was surrounded by teammates, friends, and family as he inked his commitment to join the Vikings baseball program.
To play at the next level for me, it means that I can continue my education through school, and I can also continue to play baseball, which is a sport I love very much. It makes you humble, teaches you how to live the life, not through only sports, but you have to make sure you give everything your all in marriage, relationships, and everything you do.
You guys have been a 4-year letterman in baseball and contributed greatly. He's part of a special senior class we had this year that's done well in every team sport, and including baseball, who qualified for the playoffs for the first time since 2010. And we wish you all the best of luck.
Yeah, my first year here at Canyon Lake, really excited, and CJ's our first guy that's going to sign and get to move on. And that's just an example for everybody else, not only the guys that are on the team, but the younger guys and the younger guys, 7th and 8th graders that are coming up and they're going to be part of the community.
There's the coaches and the teachers. They all.
Back here at Canyon Lake High School is a nice little package there on CJ Parrish, who is batting here second in the inning. This is Brandon Robinson, the center fielder, who gets ahead of the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. Had a good play in the first inning in the field, did Brandon. First out of the ball game on an acrobatic catch in kind of left center field, or check that right center field. He was coming over. Looking to add now to the offensive side of the game. He has it 3 balls, no strikes here to lead off the second. And he'll walk on 4 straight pitches. Well, we talked about CJ Parrish. Batting 5th, the first baseman, signed with Mississippi Valley. Will continue his baseball career. In a good spot here with no outs and a runner on first. Harp looks over. Parrish was looking to bunt, pulls the bat away, and a good eye there. CJ batting 161 and 6 RBI on the year. 4-year letterman here on Canyon Lake's baseball team. Will square to bunt again. Pulls back, sings this one past the first baseman and down the line. Coming around second is Robinson. They'll keep him there. CJ will stay at first. And the ball gets through the second baseman, so here comes Robinson in to score on the fielding error. CJ back to first, and he's in with a head first slide. So some excitement there. CJ gets another RBI, his 7th ribby on the year. And Robinson ends up scoring on a fielding error. So we'll score that E6 as an error on the shortstop. And Canyon Lake pulls even on the nice shot there by CJ. Well, it looked like they might have had CJ in a pick situation. Robinson came around third to score, and CJ looked as if he had second base in his eyes. was not meant to be. It was a quick decision to get back to first, and he was in with the head-first slide. Now Peyton McMullen, the freshman, will come to first base as a runner in place of CJ. McMullen back with the head-first slide of his own. Tanner Sellers, the DH, is up now for Canyon Lake with no outs here in the bottom of the second. Squaring to bunt. Lays this one down the third baseline. Sanchez up with it over to first, and Despain retires Sellers, but it's a sacrifice that moves McMullen over to second base.
Number 10. 10's running.
So the 5-3 sac bunt represents the first out of the second inning. Lee Stafford is up now for Canyon Lake. Sends this one over the fence, but in foul territory. Down the left field line. Lee's a senior, one of 4 on this Canyon Lake team, batting .203. Has a runner on second now. The 0-1 is high and outside. Evens the count. In the dirt for another ball. Jeffrey Quillen is the head coach for Bandera. Bandera is 10-15 overall, 1-10 in District 28 4A. Coach Quillen is in his second season with the Bulldogs. This pitch is delivered inside and brings the count to 3-1. Prior to coming to Bandera, Coach Quillen spent 5 years at Riviera Coffer High School on the Coastal Bend. That's just south of Kingsville on Highway 77. This is in the dirt, and will be ball 4, and Stafford gets on by way of walk. So runner on second is McMullen. Runner on first now is Stafford. And this brings up J.T. Green, the junior who's batting .225. As we have a pinch runner coming in at first is Ethan Slater. Will take the place of Stafford, who's going to go in and put on his catcher equipment.
Number 7, courtesy runner, Mr. Slater.
Ball's delivered low to J.T. Green.
Right time, JT, let's go, man.
One out here in the bottom of the second. He's in there for a strike. So one has to wonder whether or not Coach Escamilla and Coach Quillen have seen each other in their walks of their baseball career. Most of the time for Coach Quillen spent in that Coastal Bend area at Riviera High School. Of course, not too far away from Alice. This ball is high. McMullen trying to get third. It's away from the third baseman, Sanchez. McMullen will come in to score. Taking third is Slater. On the error throw. So with the E2, Canyon Lake will get their second run of the ball game. Slater now at third, and the count goes to 2-1 to Green. This one's foul tip back behind the catcher and umpire. And we're at 2-2 now with one out. The 2-2 in the dirt off the knee pad of the catcher, Koenig, and coming in to score is Slater. And taking first base on the pass ball was J.T. Green. Strikeout, take first on the drop ball from the catcher is the indication there. So it is a strikeout being rewarded to the pitcher Harp, but it does not go for an out. And another error will not only give Canyon Lake another run, but now a base runner in lieu of an out. Coach Quillen is going to come out and talk to Casey Harp, who looked like at the beginning of this ball game had complete control. Was 3 up, 3 down through the top 3 of Canyon Lake's order to start the bottom of the first, and since then, Robinson got on by walk. Parrish is the lone hit. We had a sac bunt represent the only out. Stafford reached by walk, and now Green strike out on the scorecard, but first by way of E2 pass ball. And it's 2 runs on 3 errors now. Only 1 hit for Canyon Lake and 1 out. As we get back to play here is Matt Anderson, the second baseman. Green is giving the green light to go. On the swing, he'll take second base on the steal.
With Hawks head coach Victor Escamilla. And Coach, this is the final game of 2018. Give us an assessment on.
Swung at a ball very high on him. Just trying to execute the play. Falls down 0-1. Green will take the base easily. Still 1 out as Anderson calls time. The 0-1. In the dirt, a good piece of catching there by Cord Koenig. Getting that ball that was inside and low. Back up the middle to Harp. Sends this one over to Despain at first. Green stays. Actually will take third on the hit.
Now bat out. Number 12, Caleb Williams.
So the 1-3 put out moves Green to third. Represents the second out of the inning, and we are back to the top of the order. It's Caleb Williams, who struck out in his first time seeing Harp. Has 2 outs now with Green on third. He swings at his first offering. And this is a pass ball behind Koenig. Green coming in, play at the plate. And Green's in with a feet first slide. It's a good piece of base running by JT. But reached first after the strikeout got by Koenig. Ends up scoring with a pass ball by Koenig. This offering is high to Williams. Here's the 2-1. Another high, wild pitch there by Harp. Sends the count to 3-1 now. On the outside corner, brings the count full. Here's the payoff. on the corner, and he strikes him out. So Williams is the third out by way of strikeout. For Canyon Lake, though, in the second, it's 4 runs on 1 hit, 3 errors, and nobody left on base. After 2 complete here at Canyon Lake High School, it's the Hawks 4, Bulldogs 1. You're watching the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
And welcome back to Canyon Lake High School. As we are about to start the 3rd inning of play, Canyon Lake on top 4-1. 4 innings there in the 2nd inning of play for Canyon Lake.
Top of the order, Sam Sizik.
Welcome change of pace after Canyon Lake had started the game in the first, going 3 up and 3 down. An offensive explosion with a little help from Bandera. Puts 4 on the board there. Leading off the 3rd is Sam Sizik, the center fielder. Sizik is batting .290, the team leader. This one is sent into left field, bounces in front of Mason Lee. Lee's up with it. And Sizik starts off the 3rd.
Now batting number 5, Casey Harp.
The pitcher, Casey Harp, now steps into the batter's box, hoping to help his cause on the mound. Sizik looking to take on the low pitch, and he does. Stafford did a good job of making sure the ball stays in front of him, but it was enough of a bobble that Sizik is able to get over to second. The 0-1. Sent back towards center field over the head of Robinson. Coming around 3rd to score is Sizik. Taking second on the double is going to be Casey Harp, who's in there with the ribby double.
Now batting number 12, Cord Koenig.
A little conference on the mound between Montgomery and Stafford now. That is the 6th double for Casey Harp on the season, his 7th extra base hit. Takes the lead off from second. Cord Koenig, the catcher, is up next. Koenig with a hit in his first at bat. This one got away a little bit from Stafford, comes up throwing, no threat. From second is Harp. Koenig spells it Koenig. You know, 2 balls and no strikes. Look over to Harp. Delivery, a little dying quail. Over the head of Parrish. Coming around 3rd. Can they get? Oh, ball's just in front of Stafford. Coming in to slide, and in is Hart from second. Texas Leaguer is enough to get another RBI to the credit of Koenig. Third hit of the inning for Bandera. No outs here in the top of the third. Keaton McInnes, who reached by way of error in the first inning, lays this bunt down. Montgomery with it, applies the tag. And the sac bunt is good enough to move Koenig to second.
Number 8, Zach Breakbill.
So one out. Down the top of the third, Zach Breakbill, right fielder, steps in. Zach's a sophomore. Sends this one high into the air. Green calls off Anderson and makes the catch. And now there's two away.
Number 6, Mason Bankston.
This will bring up Mason Bankston now. Can Canyon Lake get out of this inning? Still with the 4-3 lead, have allowed now 2 in the third. 2 outs with the runner on second. First delivery to Bankston. Just a bit inside for ball 1. Back up the middle, Anderson gets in front of it. Relays this over to Parrish, and the Hawks are out of the inning. For Bandera, it's two runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. After 2.5 innings of play, it is Canyon Lake 4, Bandera 3. This is Canyon Lake Baseball on the Hawks Network.
Down in Texas, modern-day prospectors are making big bucks flipping houses. But before they can cash in, they gotta move them. Hauling homesteads and kicking asphalt. All new Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Uh-oh. Sorry?
Watch FX, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 527. GVTC, just plain smart.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Flimsy.
Well, if you're just joining us, got a good one here. Canyon Lake on top 4-3 as we enter the bottom of the third, and Mason Lee to lead off for the Hawks. He's 1 strike down to Casey Harp. I'll make that 2. Canyon Lake is 11-14-1 this year, 3-8 in district. An improvement from last year's squad that went 2-22-1. This one in the dirt on a strike. And Lee, this is put out at first this time for the strike him out, throw him out. Drew Tyra will come up now for Canyon Lake. Last year for the Hawks, 1-12 in district, missed the playoffs, was last place team in a very tough 28-4A. This one's in there for a strike to Tyra. 2016, the Hawks were 4-21 overall, 3-10 in District 26 4A, sixth place out of 7 teams. So the trend of Canyon Lake baseball pointing up as the Hawks are now into the playoffs. In 2018, for Bandera at 1-10, kind of an off season for their standards as Tyra will sit down after swinging. 2 strikeouts now for Casey Harp, who seems to have settled down after that explosive second inning that saw Canyon Lake put 4 across. Brandon Robinson comes in now, center fielder. Last year for the Bulldogs, 17-9-1. 6-6 in district play. Robinson kind of fist this one just a bit foul down the right field line. With a 6-6 district record, it was good enough for third place for Bandera last year, but lost to Navarro in by district. And in 2016, 4-7 in 29 4A, got in as a fourth place team out of that district. Brendan Robinson swings at that one, makes it 0-2 with 2 outs now. But in that playoff run for Bandera, got past Pleasanton in the first round before dropping 2 of 3 to Sinton. And the inning is over. Brandon Robinson looks in at a called strike 3. 3 up, 3 down for Canyon Lake. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We played now 3 complete. It's Canyon Lake 4, Bandera 3. You're watching the Hawks Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
Down in Texas, modern-day prospectors are making big bucks flipping houses. But before they can cash in, they gotta move them. Hauling homesteads and kicking asphalt. All new Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
Dustin Fritz will lead us off here in the top of the 4th. Last time out, struck out. Looks at this offering in for a ball. Count evens at 1. Well, Canyon Lake hoping to get back on the winning side of things here in district play. The last 3 games out for Canyon Lake. This one is hit foul out of play. Brings the count at 1-2. But Canyon Lake 0-3 in their last 3 games. Included losses to Bernie and Fredericksburg. And sandwiched between that, a close loss to Hondo. This one is sent back, will fall in right field in front of TJ Green. And Fritz is on with a base hit.
Bandera Bulldogs, number 14, Wiley Bisping.
loss to Hondo was 5-2 in 8 innings. Last time out in district here at Canyon Lake High. This one is in the dirt, and a quick look down to first. An effort to keep Fritz honest. Wiley Despain, the first baseman, is now up for Bandera. He looks to bunt. Didn't pull it back in time. And this will go down as a strike. One now to Despain. Fritz on first. From the stretch, Montgomery. This one's fouled on a bunt attempt. Here's the 1-2 to Despain. Fritz is going, throw to second, a bit high. I think it would have been in time. But he got Williams into the air to retrieve it and couldn't apply the tag down. So a stolen base there for Fritz. On the strike him out, throw him out. Actually, that was lacking the throw him out, though. It was a good-looking throw, just a bit high. Brock Cardenas is up. He sends this one into the gap into left field. And that moves the runner, Fritz, to third.
Number 4, Sam Sizes.
Good piece of hitting there by Cardenas on the first pitch. Sends that one to left field. Sizik is now up the top of the order for Bandera with one out here in the top of the fourth. Tying run at third, go-ahead run on first. With one out. Montgomery deals on the outside corner for a strike. This one's sent back to left field. Lee watches this one get over him. Fritz will come in to score. Getting into third is Cardenas, and they'll hold him up there. A ribby double for Sam Sizik. Puts one on the board for Bandera.
Number 5, Casey Hart.
Good piece of hitting there by Sizik. This brings up Casey Harp, the pitcher.
Intentional walk for number 5.
And with the base open, they're just going to let Casey Harp take first on an intentional walk. And Coach Escamilla will come to the mound and have a visit with Avery Montgomery and the rest of the infield. So in this inning, Dustin Fritz got on with a single, and then the strikeout of Despain and the take of second by Fritz put Bandera with a runner on second and one out. Cardenas then sent a ball to left field. That sent Fritz over to third. Runners on the corners before Sizik got his ribby double, and Harp with the intentional walk. That sets us up with what we have here. Bases loaded with one out. And Cord Koenig, the catcher, batting third in the lineup, the meat of the order for Bandera. And a tie ball game 4-4. Parrish can't get to it. Oh, that's a tough spot to put a ball defensively. Montgomery had a long carry to try to cover first. Parrish with a good run at it. It was too slow for Anderson at second, so kind of the Bermuda Triangle of infield hits there. Everybody's safe. Cardinal scores. Sizik to third. Harp now at second. And Keaton McInnes is up for the Bulldogs. First pitch strike to McInnes. And this is a good way to respond if you're Avery Montgomery. You got to put that little dribbler behind you. It was a good pitch, and as the chatter's up here in the press box, if it's hit a little harder, it's a double play ball. Instead, the slow dribbler puts Koenig on first, but McInnes is retired by way of strikeout.
Number 8, Zach Brightbill.
So Avery Montgomery hoping to righten the ship here. Two have crossed the plate for Bandera. Here in the top of the fourth. Breakbill now up, sends this one to third, and a step on the base by Drew Tyra does well there to end the inning and stop the bleeding there. Canyon Lake gets out of the jam, but 2 runs come across on 4 hits. No errors and 3 left on base. After 3.5 innings of play, it is now Bandera 5, Canyon Lake 4. This is Canyon Lake Baseball on the Hawks Network.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
Uh-oh. Sorry?
Watch FX, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 527. GVTC, just plain smart.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Flimsy microwave bacon tastes, but Wendy's oven-baked bacon tastes. Add it to fresh, never-frozen beef, and you've got a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. A JBC with 4 nuggets, fries, and a drink is what makes Wendy's 4 for $4 so deliciously different.
CJ Parrish will leave off the 4th inning for Canyon Lake. Had a single back in the 2nd inning that kind of kicked off that barrage of scoring that Canyon Lake hurled at Bandera. Got a 4 spot in the 2nd. Hope for more of the same here in the 4th. Bandera now has a 5-4 lead. The first pitch to CJ is a strike inside. One and one now to Parrish. Well, for Bandera coming into tonight's ball game, a 1-10 district mark. That 1 win happened in their last 3 games. So 1-2 in their last 3 are the Bulldogs. That win came against Hondo on the road, a score of 8-2, and that sandwiched between losses of the 2 teams atop district. This is lifted out of play. Lost 12-1 to the Bernie Greyhounds, and then last time out, a 15-0 decision to the Fredericksburg Billies. This one gets past Koenig and brings the count full for CJ. Lifted high, but short. Will it drop between the converging players? A sliding grab by Bankston is for naught as that one falls. Another Bermuda Triangle hit. That seems like to be the third of the night. But CJ benefits there. Bankston, McInnes, and Sanchez all converged together. It's a good effort by Mason to slide under. Just couldn't get the glove there. So CJ's on first. This one is sent back up by Sellers. It'll drop in front of Cizik. Parrish gets to second with a stand-up. Throw in there is not in time. And Canyon Lake has something working here in the fourth. Base hit by Parrish and Sellers. Now Lee Stafford will step up. Stafford reached on a walk in the second. And it's the same core of the lineup that produced in the second, now getting it started here. Sellers now getting into it. He had a sack bunt that helped move the runners in the second, so this is his first time on the base path. Coach Escamilla come out giving some instructions to Stafford. Harp takes a look at Parrish. And another will deal in. Stafford looking to bunt there. Pulls it back in time. Showed ball one. Another look at CJ. Nice bunt laid down the first baseline. Harp can't do anything with it. A little bobble there. Nobody on first anyways. The E1 has scored an error. Slater will come in to run for Stafford at first. And the carousel moves around. Parrish now at third, Sellers at second, and this will bring up JT Green. Green struck out but reached on a pass ball to avoid the out and was one of the four Hawks to score. No outs here in the bottom of the fourth. This one inside turns away Green. Close call there for a ball. Bases loaded for JT. This one's fouled away. The 1-1. Brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. This one outside now, 3 balls and 1 strike. It's been a tale of 2 Casey Harps in this ball game. Innings 1 and 3, 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. Inning 2, 4 runs by Canyon Lake. And now, inning 4, Canyon Lake looks to add to it. JT sends this one into center field. Parrish comes around from third, and from second, it's Sellers, and it's 2 ribby shot there by JT Green. Wonderful hitting there. And that is the 8th and 9th RBI for JT. So Slater now at second, JT at first, And this brings up Matt Anderson, the second baseman, hoping to add to the totals. No outs here. The bottom of the fourth. Looks to bunt. And has this one go for a strike. Scoring to bunt again. Pulls it back. This one is going to dribble down for a fair ball. Up to throw is Koenig. And the first out is given to Matt Anderson, but the runners advance.
Correction, number 12, Caleb Williams.
The team comes out to meet Anderson on the sacrifice. With one out now, the top of the order for the Hawks, Caleb Williams digs in. Slater on third. This one's in on the corner for a strike. And Green at seconds. Canyon Lake takes the lead now, 6-5. With an open bag, Williams squares to bunt, and coming in is Slater. And Slater takes home. Even though Williams is called out at first. Slater scores. That's now 3 runs in the inning for Canyon Lake. Well, that's a second run given to Canyon Lake by way of strikeout. Pass ball, take first.
Now batting for the Hawks, Kyle Derfler.
Koenig needed to make that throw to first. Kyle Derfler comes in for Canyon Lake now, the junior. Derfler would take this on the inside, evens the count at 1-1. Two balls and one strike to Kyle, the junior. On third for the Hawks is JT Green. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Kyle swings and misses.
Hey, you're right there. Lots of confidence, babe. Cut it in half. Let's go, babe.
This one in the dirt. Koenig does well to get in front of it. Or else that could have been run number 4 in the inning. And we have a full count. Kyle's in now. Here's the payoff. This one is pulled back behind home plate, and I just hope that's the roof of the concession stand and not anybody's car. So we'll do it again. Kyle sends this one into the gap. The backhand isn't there for McInnes. It'll be scored a hit. And coming in to score is JT Green, the 4th of the inning now. on 4 hits. Drew Tyra coming to the plate. Drew, the third baseman. Mason Lee will come in to run for Derfler. So Mason's on first with 2 outs. Here's Tyra. Tyra sends this one to McInnes, and McInnes plays it off his ankle. We'll go over him, and everybody's safe.
In the run for Derfler, Mason Lee.
So it's an E6 on the hot stuff to short. McInnes will shake it off and remain in there. Brandon Robinson will come up. The lone Hawk not to see the plate so far in this inning as this ball gets by Koenig and the carousel spins again. Lee to third, Tyra to second on the wild pitch. Want to send out thoughts and prayers and good vibes and wishes for a speedy recovery to Brandon's father, who's recovering from a car wreck and was assured to us that he'll be watching. So thoughts, prayers to you. Wishes for a speedy recovery as Brandon lifts this one out of play to the right side. The 1-1 is fouled back. A little scrum there between C.J. Parrish and Dustin Fritz. Nice little friendly rivalry there to get the foul ball. And Robinson will strike out to end the inning. But it was a productive inning for Canyon Lake. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and a 1 left on. After 4 complete here at Canyon Lake High School, it's the Hawks 8, Bulldogs 5. This is the Hawks Network.
The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels. Our modern and architecturally impressive building is more like an art gallery than a dealership. With an extravagant showroom floor and customer lounge, with over 500 vehicles in stock, we have the ability to deliver the best savings possible to meet your budget needs. It's our pleasure to serve you in New Braunfels and the surrounding Hill Country communities. The all-new Nissan of New Braunfels, you've got to see this place.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas produce department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
Hi, I'm film critic Richard Roper, and I'm thrilled to be hosting the television event And the Oscar Goes To. 75 Oscar-winning films all on one channel. From February 1st through March 4th, HDNet Movies is proud to bring you an uninterrupted presentation of Oscar-winning films. No other network can boast an award-winning film collection of this caliber. Nothing but Oscar-winning movies, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
GVTC, just plain smart.
And back here at Canyon Lake High School for the start of the 5th inning, Mason Bankston will lead us off here for the Bulldogs. He fouls this one back. Avery Montgomery has done well on the mound. so far through this ball game. It's been a fun one here at Canyon Lake. The lead exchanging hands on a couple of occasions. Right now in firm grasp of Canyon Lake, 8-5. And with 3 straight pitches, Mason goes down swinging for Bandera. Go ahead and, if you're with us here on our YouTube channel, hit that red subscribers button. Be kept up to date with everything going around here on the Hawks Network. We are winding down the athletic year of 2018. Of course, before we know it, fall 2018 will be here and all the fun things that come with that. So stick with us here on the Hawks Network and hit that subscribers button for us. Dustin Fritz, the DH, for Bandera, sends this one to short. Williams with the long throw to CJ. And it is in time to retire Fritz. 6-3 on the putout for out number 2. Good things working here for Canyon Lake defensively.
Number 14, Wiley Despain.
Springs up Wiley Despain, who has seen the plate twice and has struck out both times. Now with 2 outs. And he falls into the count. 0-1. Here's the 0-2. Oh, behind Despain. Really the only pitch of the inning that's gotten away from Avery. He has been in control outside of that one. And here's the 1-2. Gets Despain swinging. 3 up, 3 down for Bandera. Canyon Lake looking good defensively there in the top of the 5th. Our score, after 4.5, it's Canyon Lake 8, Bandera 5. This is the Hawks Network.
Down in Texas, modern-day prospectors are making big bucks flipping houses. But before they can cash in, they gotta move them. Hauling homesteads and kicking asphalt. All new Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
We are the UIL.
From the coaches
To the players. To the educators.
We've been in your shoes.
Extracurricular activities are essential to the development of our youth.
CJ led us off in the 4th. He'll have that same honor here in the 5th. CJ 2 for 2 on the night. Base hit in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Has scored both times he has come up to the plate. It's really been the catalyst for this Canyon Lake offense tonight. On a night where he's honored as one of the 4 seniors, offering senior leadership for a player that has been a part of this Canyon Lake baseball team for 4 seasons now. And you're looking to build a culture and a program, you got to rely on senior leadership. And CJ's done that not only tonight but throughout the year as he fouls this one back. (8-5) your score as we're in the bottom of the 5th. For Bandera, it's 5 runs on 8 hits. and 4 errors. Canyon Lake, it's 8 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. The 2-1 is in there. Evens the count at 2-2. And that will even the count with the ball in the dirt.
Hey, let's go, Parrish. Turn on it, kid.
Check that full count there at 3-2. My apologies. CJ sends this one hot shot to left field, and Bankston makes a catch head high there on a line drive rip for the first out of the 5th inning and of CJ's night. You know, it's a reminder to me as Tanner Sellers digs in how very powerful words are. Just one casual misstep of calling something an even count when it's full sends everybody here in the press box looking at their score sheets to make sure everything is up to date. But as they realize very quickly, if there's an error made by the announcer, it's usually my error. 9 times out of 9. Sellers sends this one high into the air, but Brakebill is under it and retires Tanner with the put out at F9.
Now batting, catcher number 6, Lee Stafford.
Stafford comes in. He is 1 for 1 on the night, walked in the 2nd. Actually, check that. He has a walk in the 2nd and an error that he reached on in the 4th. And he has worked 2 pitches into a 2-0 count. And a high pop up behind the catcher. Koenig won't have a play on it as this ball kind of tickles us up here in the press box. Stafford's in, the 2-1 to him on the outside. Called ball, 3-1 now. We had a beautiful sunset here in the Texas Hill Country. The lights starting to settle in. And the 3-1 is chopped back towards the third baseline. Harp doesn't have a play on it. And that'll be ruled a base hit for Lee.
Now batting for the Hawks, number 9.
Tough play for the pitcher, Casey Harp, and not enough juice on it to have Darian Sanchez make a play on it from third. So
Number 7, Ethan Slater.
Lee will run back into the dugout. Ethan Slater takes his place as the pinch runner there on first. JT Green, who singled back in the 4th, is now up. To look over at Slater on first. That's a good pitch on the inside for a strike. Slater's going on a ball down in the dirt. Slater will take second. With no throw over. 1 ball now, 2 strikes. To JT, evens the count. Now at 2-2. 2's on the scoreboard with 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch is outside. Slater looking for third. A wild pitch. Actually, they're going to call it interference, as that ball kind of ricocheted off of JT Green. That caused the wild throw to third. So JT gets called out for interference. Slater does not able to advance, and actually that's the 3rd out of the inning, so that will end it there. For Canyon Lake, no runs on 1 hit and no errors. 1 left on for the Hawks. We go to the 6th with the Hawks up 8-5 here on the Hawks Network.
Down in Texas, modern-day prospectors are making big bucks flipping houses. But before they can cash in, they gotta move them. Hauling homesteads and kicking asphalt. All new Texas Flip and Move, Friday night at 9 on DIY Network.
Watch DIY, GVTC Digital Cable Channel 126. GVTC, just plain smart.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for HEB. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at HEB. No store does more than my HEB.
We go to the 6th inning here at Canyon Lake High School, leading off
Number 19, Brock Cardenas.
Brock Cardenas, the shortstop for Bandera, lead off the 6th inning. Brock had a single in the 4th. Kind of rallied things there for Bandera, a 4th inning that put 2 across for the Bulldogs. Off-speed pitch works in there now, 0-2. This one in the dirt, swung on for a strikeout. The throw over to Parrish will officially put out Brock. For the first out of inning number 6, back to the top of the order, and Sam Sizek.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 4, Sam Sizek.
Sam with a single and a double on a night where he is 2 for 3. Good pitch there by Avery. Gets him swinging away. This is the 3rd meeting between the Hawks and the Bulldogs. Last time out, Canyon Lake got a 1-0 win. This one's in there for strike 2. That lone run came in the 7th inning. Kyle Derfler with an RBI. That drove in Tanner Sellers in the top of the 7th. This one is pitched in off the helmet of Sizek, and Sizek will take on the hit by pitch.
Now batting for the Bulldogs, number 5, Casey Harp.
Harp is now up for Bandera, the kind of do everything utility player, is on the mound on the defensive side of things, and offensively has a single, a double, and a walk. The walk was done intentionally. Hoping for a double play to get out of the inning. This one inside, a little too close for comfort there. Harp able to get away. Casey hacks that one foul. The 2-1. Swung out away. This one is sent high into no man's land once again. Drifting over, Green unable to make the catch. Throw over to second is out of the glove of Williams, who was covering second. Score that E9. And Sizek takes second. Well, that was just a tough effort there by Green in right field. That ball was moving in the air. You also had Matt Anderson and C.J. Parrish converging on it. Again, kind of in no man's land there. JT just couldn't get the glove on it as it kind of turned on him at the last second. So with 2 on and 1 out, this brings up Cord Koenig, the catcher. Cord struck out in the first and has 2 singles after that, one in the third, one in the fourth. He has an even count here at 1-1. Hit back, CJ tries to dive at it, and this gets through. Green comes up throwing. Parrish cuts it off. And we have the bases loaded here with 1 out in the top of the 6th. We are in the heart of the order for Bandera.
Now batting number 9, Keaton McInnes.
The cleanup hitter, Keaton McInnes, now comes to the plate. Keaton reached by error in the first inning, had a sac bunt in the third, struck out in the fourth.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 10, Gage Brown.
Coach Escamilla comes out to have a conversation with Avery. Avery's had a pretty good ebbs and flow in the ball game. There's been parts where he seemed to have supreme control of the ball, working in a couple of 3-and-out innings. Seven strikeouts tonight for Avery. Courtesy runner at first. For Bandera. This one's sent back out of play. Gage Brown is that courtesy runner at first. One strike down to McInnes. Now 2. A couple of deep breaths by Avery to settle down. Bases loaded and the cleanup batter up. He's ahead now, 0-2. Delivers, and he struck him out. Oh, it's a big-time strikeout by Avery. Now his 8th. Gets the second out of the inning.
Now batting number 8, Zach Breakbill.
And Breakbill comes up for Bandera, a sophomore. Has 6 RBI on the year, does Zach. And this one is fouled away. Avery's worked himself into some trouble, but has an opportunity to get out of it. No runs have come across for Bandera. Canyon Lake with an 8-5 lead. Tying run over at first, and the go-ahead at the plate. Shot to third, and calmly done as Drew Tyra steps on third, and that gets Canyon Lake out of the inning. It is no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 left on base. We go into the bottom of the 6th with our score: Canyon Lake 8, Bandera 5. This is the Hawks Network.
We are the UIL.
From the coaches
To the players,
to the educators.
we've been in your shoes.
extracurricular activities are essential to the development of our youth.
From proposed rule changes
to the relaxation of transfer rules. We keep it fair.
New academic contests. We hear you loud and clear.
New events are music to our ears. We just added film. That's a wrap.
Educational activities help young people become productive citizens.
From staph infections to steroid use.
To cardiac and concussions.
Health and safety is a priority.
Heat, heart, and health history.
From heat-related illness to head injuries to heart-related issues to the medical history of students.
Your well-being is our priority because we are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
We are the UIL.
1.5 innings of play left in this ball game, and Canyon Lake has the advantage of 2 more at-bats and an 8-5 lead as we go into the bottom of the 6th. Ben Campos, executive producer Bo Wick, with you here on the Hawks Network. There is a pitching change for Bandera. You could close the book on Casey Harp, who had a good run of it on a couple of innings, and kind of an up-and-down game for Casey, though he pitched well. So Sam Sizik will come in for the Bulldogs, and he will get on the mound. It'll be 4-on-4 crime. Number 4, Sizik on the mound to face number 4, Matt Anderson, the one they call Matty Ice. First pitch by Sizik is called strike on the inside. Anderson sends this one back. And awfully close to our cameras back there. Executive producer Bo Wick takes a look out with concern. Now some relief. The 0-2 is sent up towards second base. Cardenas with it over to first. and that will retire Anderson on the 4-3 putout. Back to the top of the order for the Hawks. Caleb Williams will look to end a trend that he's had tonight. 3 plate appearances and 3 strikeouts. This one's on the inside. Called ball. One's on the outside. Gives Caleb the advantage at 2-1 now. This one sent towards left field. Will it stay in? No, it won't. Drops foul. Bankston giving chase for assurance. Well, our visitors from Bandera, 90-minute drive between these two campuses, just about. Of course, on this level, it seems the districts are a little bit larger than what you would find on the 5 or 6A level. This is on the inside and brings the count full to Caleb. A near miss on the elbow. But if you're hoping to drive out to Bandera, it's a lovely hill country drive. You could just take Road 32 as Caleb strikes out looking. That's the first of the night. Mason Lee will come into the plate as the umpire come to the near home dugout and get some more baseballs. But you could take FM 32 to 473, and that will get you to Highway 281. And from there's a number of ways to get to Bandera. Of course, if you're in the area and just familiar with a couple of roads like I am, like to get to Highway 46 from 281, and that'll take you anywhere you need to go as Lee sends this one over the head of Bankston. Will drop in for a hit. And Mason Lee has a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. That is the the first base hit for Mason tonight. This brings up Drew Tyra. So from the 281-46 junction, kind of around Smithson Valley High School, that area, you take Highway 46 west. Will take you through Bernie and just right out Highway 46, and you'll end up in Bandera. Nice little weekend road trip if you're in the area. This one fouled back for a strike on Tyra. Shot foul down the third baseline. And the count will stay here at no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here's the 0-2. Lee goes, and this is foul tipped into the mitt of Koenig, and that'll do it for Drew Tyra. For Canyon Lake, it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We go to the final inning of play. Canyon Lake has a 8-5 lead here on the Hawks Network.
I'm Jaime Buenteo, produce buyer for H-E-B. We work hard to find the freshest, best produce available. That's why we work with Texas growers to buy local as much as possible. Over 100 million pounds annually. In fact, we sell more produce than any other store in Texas. Grapefruit, corn, blueberries, and tons more. All grown right here in our beautiful backyard and on their way to your store within 24 hours. This is the local Texas Produce Department at H-E-B. No store does more than my H-E-B.
All new on Travel Channel.
I'm Andrew Zimmern, and we're showcasing the unique cuisines that put the tastiest locations on the map. From hot spices in Asia to mouth-watering flavors across the Americas. These destinations are so delicious, they're iconic.
All new Bizarre Foods Delicious Destinations. Tuesday at 9 on Travel Channel.
Watch Travel Channel, GVTC, Digital Cable Channel 577. GVTC, just plain smart.
Say hello to something new. New is smart. New is gorgeous. New is delicious. New is so you. Discover HSN and find the perfect new for you.
Mason Bankston, number 6.
To the final inning we go, and to lead us off in the 7th is Mason Bankston, the left fielder. Montgomery still going strong for Canyon Lake, as this one's in for swung and missed strike. Mason is 0 for 3 for the Bulldogs. This is off-speed dribbler to third. Tyra with it, and a wonderful throw and a great extension by C.J. Parrish to get the out. My goodness, that's some good baseball.
Bare hand by senior Drew, the senior C.J. Nice play, guys.
Enjoy it, seniors. Let's go.
What a wonderful play for half of the senior class. It's senior Tyra at third over to senior CJ, and the barehanded quick throw needed a good extension from first in order to retire Bankston. And that's good stuff by the seniors in their final inning here in district play at Hawks Field. This brings up Dustin Fritz. Who now has a 2-0 advantage on Montgomery. This one fouled back. Fritz struck out in the second, singled, and eventually stole base and scored in the fourth. Was put out 6-3 in the fifth. This one's fouled back, evens the count. 2 straight foul.
Hey, throw him a chair in. Let's go.
The 2-2, breaking ball. Lost a little bit of control there. That brings the count full. There I go again. Here's the 3-2. The windup, delivered, hit back up the middle. Good piece of hitting there by Fritz, the designated hitter, who gets a single.
Now batting number 14, Wiley Despain.
The sophomore Despain will come up with the runner on first. Can he be induced into a game-ending double play? That will be what the doctor orders here. Despain has struck out all 3 times he's been to the plate. And a good start there by Avery. 2 now to Despain. Avery throwing with purpose. Quick look over to first. Avery delivers off-speed pitch in there. And for the 4th time tonight, Wiley Despain strikes out.
Now batting number 19, Brock Cardenas.
Cardenas now up for Bandera. Is he their last hope? Down 8-5. Needs to get on base here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Avery deals. Good off-speed pitch. High and inside, evens the count at 1-1. With 2 outs, Avery looking to close the door here on Bandera. And a wonderful wire-to-wire pitching display by Avery Montgomery. This one is swung on and hit back. A 10 strikeout night for Montgomery. He's just looking for an out any way he could have it here. And there it is for Canyon Lake. The strikeout, the 11th of the ball game of Cardenas. And Canyon Lake has an 8-5 victory in hand to close out the 2018 regular season. Our final score, it's Canyon Lake 8, Bandera 5. We'll step aside here on the Hawks Network. When we come back, post-game coverage from Hawks Stadium. This is Canyon Lake Baseball on the Hawks Network.
Where Zaxby's is from. Some like it classic. Some like it saucy. For others, it's gotta be crispy. But everyone loves the flavor that brings us together. And whether you like it spicy or old school, you'll like it even more. Because Zaxby's 5 fan favorites are now just $5.99 each. Friends, family, flavor. Zaxby's.
Back here at Hawks Stadium for perhaps the final time in 2018, Canyon Lake gets the win tonight against Bandera. A score of 8-5, and nothing was more perfect in that night, perhaps, than what we saw in the first out of the final inning of play. A putout of 5-3 from Drew Tyra to C.J. Parrish. It was a great backhand and a great stretch on the first base side of things, but 2 seniors closing it out nicely for Canyon Lake. As you saw the graphic there, go ahead and hit that red subscriber button there. If you're with us here on the Hawks Network. A lot of good things happen when you do that. Again, your final score, it's Canyon Lake 8, Bandera 5. With the win, Canyon Lake will go into the postseason with a opponent to be determined later. So stick with us here on the Hawks Network as we'll bring that news to you. But Canyon Lake improves their district standing to now 8-4. With the loss, Bandera closes out their season with a 1-11 mark in District 28 4A. Once again, your final score from Hawks Field, it's Canyon Lake 8, Bandera 5. Now for my executive producer tonight, Bo Wick, I am Ben Campos, wishing you a good night and a safe drive home from Canyon Lake High School in Fisher, Texas.